That guy was almost 8 inches. Look at that claw. Look just the when you talk about a rusty crab, I mean, it almost looks like rust. Huge claw. Good morning, guys. Another beautiful day. We are out here crabbing, doing chicken on a string, and I'm using the Promar collapsible crab traps that I just throw out, pull them in quick, and hopefully if there's a crab in there, they stay in there. As soon as I showed up here, there was a crab moving right along the shoreline, so I scooped him right here. So I'm hoping that's a good sign, because I did go to actually one other spot this morning. Right now it's like 9:30 in the morning. I was at the other spot for 2 hours, only caught 2 crabs. And, you know, sometimes you just got to make a move. So, yeah, I mean, other times I've stuck it out and it just didn't pan out. So this time I said, you know what, time to make a move. So yeah, I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 throwable traps out. And I've got 1, 2, 3 hand lines out. So yeah, guys, as soon as I start pulling the traps and, you know, if the hand lines start going, I'll be there for you. I'll show you. Alright guys, I was just pulling the first one to see if we had any action. A lot of times with the traps, even though the crabs aren't actually on like the trap line, you can see them pulling the line. And well, they're actually pulling on the bait, but the bait is connected to like the main stem, which is connected to the main line. So you can see it move. But I didn't see any action, but I just pulled it up and got a big one. That's a big guy right there. So yeah, obviously don't have that many traps out, but I'm gonna check these other 2. Hopefully we have the same result. Let's see if I can get this guy out. Now you see, guys, this is a beautiful crab here. Huge claw. So yeah, let's let me get him in the bucket, and then I'm gonna pull the other 2 traps. Another thing too, guys, have a dip net with you at all times. Obviously they're traps, so they usually close, but sometimes the crabs only have a claw on them, and you want to have a net ready in case they fall out. Like this guy, even though he was mostly in the trap, he fell out at the last moment. If I didn't have a net, he would have been back in the water. So yeah, let's check these traps. Alright guys, I may have a crab on this hand line. Sometimes it's hard to tell. The other spot I was at, the turtles ate a whole freaking bag of chicken before I even caught many crabs. So this is looking kind of crabby, but let's just see what's going on here. Alright guys, I thought I had a crab, but I think this is just Turtle City again. Let's see what we can do here. No, I was wrong. Big one. All right, well, escape the turtles for the moment, so let's get this guy in the bucket and try to get some more. All right, guys, got another one on the hand line. This is on the far side over here, and the ground's kind of uneven, so it's hard to film. I've got this set up on a tripod right now. I'll put this on my chest so you guys can see more of a first-hand view, but here it is, another big one. It's a good crab so far. You know, if we can get at least, 8 crabs, that's great for today. But yeah, let's check the other lines. Oh, and also I just lost a trap. Told you about these turtles. Sometimes they'll grab the chicken. Well, they'll always grab the chicken and kind of pull it. I had this trap tied off to a tree branch over here, and, well, I mean, maybe it was a gator, but it ripped it off that and just pulled it out into the center, and it's gone. But yeah, just a warning there. So, but great crab to start. Let's try to get some more. All right, guys, got another one on the hand line. I've actually caught a couple on the hand lines, but it's been like so quick I can't even move the camera over because I'm also contending with the turtles. I did see what took my trap, at least one of them. They are absolutely gigantic soft-shell turtles. Unfortunately, you can't harvest them in Florida, but yeah, I mean, we're starting out really good here. I mean, the first 2 hours of the morning at the other spot, 2 crabs, not good. So it's definitely worth making a move. So yeah, guys, let's get some more. All right, guys, just to show you the traps that I've been using out here. Obviously, when I can get through the turtles and the alligators, these work really well. So these are the Promar castable crab traps. There are a bunch of different companies that make different versions of this, but of the ones that I've tried, and I'm sure I haven't tried them all, but I've tried like 4 different ones. These seem to hold up the best and work the best. So get this trap right here, and then you're gonna need, I get this 50-foot section of rope. It's 1/8 inch camo paracord from Walmart. I think it's like $2. These traps, they're gonna run you about $20 a piece, but as long as you don't lose them, they will last a while. So I'll show you here how they actually work. So you have your line down to the trap. You got your chicken in here, and the chicken you can just push in and then I zip tie them, or you can lift this part up and actually open it up and push the chicken in. This little piece does tend to move, so you'll have to check it often, but overall it's not that big of a deal. And then when it's on the bottom, it's flat, and when you pull it in, it closes. And hopefully you've got the crab in there. So overall, really simple. Lays flat on the bottom. Whenever you check it, pull it, closed. And obviously, hopefully, you have a crab. So yeah, guys, check them out. I think that I just buy these through Walmart. Some places do have them in stock, but yeah, just check them out. Great traps. Give them a try sometime. All right, guys, so that trap that I lost earlier that I thought were turtles, and I mean, there are some gigantic frickin' soft-shell turtles out here. I mean, they're like it's like a manhole cover. And those things, they'll bite you, so you don't want to get close to them. But it's going to be hard to see. Oh, he just went down. But actually what took my trap was a small gator. And when I say small, it's like probably 3.5 feet. Like, that's a small one. That's one thing in Florida, there are gators everywhere. In the brackish water, fresh water, they will move through the salt water to get to the fresh water, so you really got to be careful where you are. for once, I did not bring a fishing rod, or else I could throw out like a lure or a treble hook way out there and get it, but it's out in the middle of the lake here. I have to try to get it next time, hopefully. But yeah, if that gator pops back up, I'll show him to you. But that's just one of the problems in Florida. You don't have to deal with it in other places. You know, turtles and gators fighting over your crab bait. And I mean, the crabs were biting good for probably about 30 minutes. And then I think all the turtles and obviously gator got alerted, and they came in and they're just destroying the chicken. So I know that they're scaring all the crabs away. So probably only going to give this another 15-20 minutes. Yeah, either move on to another spot, or I'm going to cook these guys up at home. Let me show you what I have here already. It was actually on fire, like I said, for a good hour or so, and ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 good ones. That one's the biggest one. It's almost 8 inches. And then these other ones, they're all right around 7. The smallest crabs in here are a little over 6. So, I mean, those are great crabs. And like I said, really only trying to get, 6 or 8 for myself. Yeah, the crabbing just kind of died. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to either see you at the next spot, or I will see you in the kitchen. Alright, guys, welcome back. Tried out one more spot nearby, and an alligator showed up, a real big one. So that's just one of the problems that you have down here in Florida. I know that most places do not have that issue, but down here I just don't want to chance it. They rule the water. I got enough crabs. So let me show you guys what we ended up getting. Got 8 good ones. We got 2 really big ones that are right around 8 inches. The others are, larges, extra larges, but I mean, just for myself, that's a perfect amount of crabs. So what I'm going to be doing is steaming them, and typically when I steam them Maryland style. So you're going to need a pot with some sort of grate or something in the bottom. This one I bought off of Amazon. I think that it was like, maybe $10, or actually less than that probably. And you're just going to fill it just below that grate with equal parts water, vinegar, and beer. If you just have water, that's fine. The vinegar, I believe, chemically, it helps to break down the meat a little bit and separate it from the shell. But overall, it's really simple. You don't have to, go crazy with a million different vegetables and spices. Typically, I just use Old Bay. You can really use any seasoning you want, or no seasoning at all. A lot of times when I'm just doing it for the crab meat, for crab cakes, I'll just throw them in there without any seasoning, because the crab cakes are going to have seasoning already added to it, so you don't have to overdo it. But yeah, what you're going to do is bring this up to a boil, and then throw the crabs in, and I steam them for about 20 minutes. If you have them really packed in there, I would say steam them for maybe 25 minutes or up to 30, but you don't want to overdo it. Then it'll start to dry them out. But yeah, you'll know, you take the lid off, if they're all, that bright red, beautiful color, they're done. So let's go ahead and get these guys in the pot, and we'll get them going. Alright guys, we've got the water rolling. Obviously it's a small amount of liquid, so it's gonna come to a boil pretty quick. You don't want to let it sit there for too long, because then it's gonna just completely boil over, or boil off, and then you're back to square one. So let's get these crabs in here. heavy crabs too. This is one of the big ones. Look at the colors on that guy. He's like bright blue, beautiful crab. But he's gonna be delicious. And then this one, that was the big one of the day. That guy was almost 8 inches. Look at that claw. Look just the when you talk about rusty crab, I mean, it almost looks like rust. Huge claw. So yeah, guys, and he's super heavy too. So with these, I just do a little bit of Old Bay on them. You know, if you have a lot more crabs, you can do a couple different layers. They're going to be moving around for, you know, a minute before they are actually steamed. So the seasoning will kind of move around and cover all of them. And once again, just do as much seasoning as you like. I don't really like that much seasoning, so do a little bit and everything's good. But yeah, we're going to set this for 20 minutes. As soon as that's up, we'll check on them. Alright guys, 20 minutes, crabs are done. And once again, generally, if you got about a dozen crabs, it's going to be 20 minutes. These pots, you can use really big pots and fit a lot of crabs in them, but it's usually better if you cook them in smaller batches, you get a more consistent cook. And yeah, let's go ahead and get them out. And guys, that's what you're looking for right there. Bright red. They're done. Look at that claw. So, I'll show you guys here. They are done. And if you'll notice, a lot of the claws came off the crabs. One thing that I didn't do this time, just because I didn't have it on hand, is usually I'll put the crabs on ice for like 5 minutes, and that's just to calm them down and kind of stun them. If you put them on ice beforehand, they will not drop their claws. This time, a lot of the claws came off. It's not a big deal, I'm gonna eat them anyway, but if you want a more like presentable way to, you know, make the crabs look better, put them on ice for 5 minutes and then throw them on the steamer or boil them, whatever you're gonna do. These are all getting eaten, so I don't care, I'm gonna eat them now. But yeah guys, these look great. Thank you guys for watching. Another pro tip, which I actually learned from Tug Trash Outdoors. If you guys aren't familiar with them, they're located in Florida. They've got a pretty big channel where they do a lot of fishing, crabbing, a lot of other things in and around Florida. If you get yourself some melted butter and lime or lemon juice, you know, mix that together, you dip the claws in it or the, the back fin, that's going to change your life. So just keep that in mind. Melted butter and lime juice. Mix that up. It's a really nice addition when you're eating the crabs. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode, and I'll see you then.